How you doing? My name is Moran and I work for Acbeyond. Last time we spoke about the contactor and the relay. Was pretty much we were talking basis about the contactor, but we're going to talk about more precisely how this works. Before I was showing that, you know, we have the coil and we have the contact, right? Now the way that works is pretty much it works like so. Let's just say this is 2-pole, right? And there's gonna be like a piece of plastic here, and over here gonna be a coil. Okay. Now the coil could be 110, could be 24 volts. Okay. What happened is when you apply 24 volts to this coil, this creates magnetism. Okay, which will push the rod. Actually, hold on. Let me get it ready so you understand the way it works. Okay. But you just do it with two separate voltages. Okay. Okay. Now the way it's going to work is when you apply 24 volts to the coil, which will be, we have a contactor. It's two poles. Okay. What's going to happen is the coil on the bottom, it's one here, you know, common in power. So you apply 24 volts to this piece, this creates a magnetism and it pulls down the armature. So what happens is when this one pulls down, this one will close and this one will close and this one will close automatically. Now before that you got 120 volts here, right? When it was open, it will stay here, you know, 120 will be here and we have 0 voltage. So what happens is when you create magnetism, this armature will push down and 120 will stay here, here and here until this closes, this close, this close, this close, this close. Now the voltage is going to go through in here, then from here is going to be 120 volts. Okay? This is the way this contactor is. Okay. Now this is a 2-pole contactor, meaning that there's two, could be 110 or could be 208, but it will be 2-pole. 208, 230 could be single phase, meaning could be 2 hot legs, or it could be also 240, 230, but single phase because you only have 2 hot legs. Or if it's 120, you can have, you know, hot over here and also neutral. So the way this works is 24 volts, energize this. And remember, 120 is here, but nothing here. Okay? So this is control voltage. This voltage will control the main power going through. So once this energizes, this pulls in, and voltage will go automatically through. So, okay, now this right here, there's a relay. Okay, this is 20 amps, and this is, I don't know what's the amperage in this, but it was small relay. But the difference is the amperage. This should be 20 and below, and the contactor is 20 and above. Okay, this relay has the same feature as this, and has the same thing. This here, and this is the same. Okay, for this one it's 2 poles. Okay. For this one, usually it's the coil 1 and 3, meaning that, pay no mind people passing by. And this is the coil, so this will be, it's 2 and 4. Okay, so it's 2 and 4. When 1 and 3, well, same thing, power, will go from, let's say 24 volts coming in, okay, and this will be coming. When 24 volts energizes this, okay, the coil energizes, and this normally open contact will close. All the wiring diagrams are normally open, meaning that they stay open all the time, and this will be normally closed. So when you're reading a wiring diagram, you have to look at it. You have to visualize what happens when this coil energizes. So on this one, we already know it's open. So we have to think about what happens when this coil energizes. This will close. So if this is let's say this is has a light bulb, we know that when this closes, this light bulb will come on. Okay, that's a couple of things that you have to remember how to read a wiring diagram. Okay. Now the other thing I forgot to explain before was the connections on the ladder wire and the wiring diagram that we had. Couple of, I don't know if you see me, couple of wirings, actually no, couple of wirings I do this, okay, and some wire will do this. This, it's not connected, okay, and this one is connected, okay. So you have to remember on the wiring diagram when it's connected is this, and usually has a dot over here to make sure that it's closed. And if it has open, that means it's not touching. Because a lot of wiring diagram, you're going to see, we're going to have two hot legs over here. You're going to have one goes here, and then another wire will go over, and it go this way. So that's already connecting. Okay, that's connecting here, and that's connecting there, but it's not connecting over there. That's one of the other things that I mentioned before. Now to put it easier to understand this wiring diagram, what I have, I'm going to do everything on 120 just to understand. But let's suppose that when I have, we'll figure it out anyway, what we're going on. Let's say we're going to have a switch and a coil, okay? Now let's say a switch and a coil, you want to have control over a light bulb somewhere else, but let's say this is another 120, but it's separate. Let's say you want to put, let's say you want to control one light that's in the other room, but you want to turn it off from another room. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to do this, and light bulb, okay? So now, it's going to be hot, it's going to be neutral. BSW, and we're going to put it as C1, okay? Now here you're going to be C2, and this will be LT, okay? Now, I'm trying to explain to you the way it's going to be on the wiring diagram, because you have to remember that this voltage and this voltage could be the same or could be separate, meaning that this is the control voltage, okay? Because this controls the main voltage. So pretty much control voltage, it's same voltage or lower voltage that controls the main components through safeties and relays and contactors, okay? Pretty much the control voltage, we have to remember that, because to be able to troubleshoot an air conditioner, most of the problems are with control voltage, okay? So now I want to give an example that, alright, from here, remember, this is your legend. Not all of them has it, but anyway, legend, right? You have SW, you have C1, you have L2, okay? This is the coil, and this is, remember, it's going to be there, and this is a switch, okay? A switch, okay, and this is the light, okay. Now, when we turn on the switch here, okay, this coil is going to energize, it's going to energize, okay? Okay, now we know that this one is connected to this one. So when the C1 is going to energize, the coil is going to energize, and then the contacts is going to close. But you have to visualize how this works, because C2 is going to close. So right now we're looking at it with no power, right? Because it's going to, let's suppose it's open. So once it's closed, it's going to close, energize, and this one's going to close, and this light is going to come on. Okay. The reason I'm saying is because later on we're going to have another. I guess it will be like this, another wires here. Okay. Okay. And this will be a this is a transformer. Okay. Now with a transformer, on the next video we're going to explain the way it works and everything, but this is your control voltage and this is your main voltage. Okay. Now remember this, because most of the wiring problems is through your control voltage. If it's, you know, if it's the main one that's causing that, could be the coil, could be the contact itself, also in plus. And remember that when this contact closed, okay, one thing I want to make sure that when this contact's closed, okay, when you put your meter here, let's just say with your meter, right? Okay, I'm not going to be able to see it, but you put it in your ohms, okay? Make sure your meter's on ohms. There's a little horseshoe ohms, and you put your leads on it. So you might get a beep or not. Okay, you'll get a beep. And the number is 10. Okay? Now, the reason why I say this is because on the contactor is 10 ohms. Okay? Now on the coil, which is 1 and 3, it might not beep. Hold on. It might not beep. So anyway. Hold on. So in this one, it's 90. Okay? Even though it's smaller, the wires are thicker. But the reason why these two have different ohms is going to be because this one going to be using as a like a relay, which we're going to explain later on. Okay? Pretty much that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe. Instagram, Acbeyond, and YouTube on which is Acbeyond also. Alright? Alright, take care and goodbye.